Who's that flying in the air? Who? That ain't no flying saucer. Something yonkers. Anyway, point is, hey, look. Into the Spider-Verse. The Stilt-Man Build-A-Figure wave continues with another one of the Spider-Verse movie-based figures. This time, the star of the show, Miles Morales. I can't wait to open this. Okay, here we go. So this is the second Miles figure I've got. The first one is a Ultimate Comics style one from the Venom Space Knight wave. But this is one based on the movie version of Miles Morales. A Brooklyn native and just 13 years old, Miles Morales is a Spider-Man unlike any we've ever seen before. Part of this wave, we've so far in this video series reviewed Peter B. Parker, Prowler, the Hand Ninja, and Frogman! And it's all toward building Stilt-Man. Miles comes with a very specific part of Stilt-Man. He comes with his collar. Like, okay, sure. It's kind of nice that every figure in this wave comes with part of the Build-A-Figure and there isn't one who's sort of an outlier. Because I think if there was one that was just an outlier, it would be Miles. That being said, it would be kind of cool if there were two Miles in this wave. This one, with the Build-A-Figure part, and one just in the suit. Or maybe in the makeshift suit he wears for most of the film with the tiny little cape, the Spider-Man Halloween costume. But anyway, Miles Morales. Spider-Verse logo on the front there. What I love about this is a figure of Miles sort of based on the last kind of 15-20 minutes of the film. Meaning, we have what I like to call, because he's got the coat and the shorts and the trainers on here, this is the What's Up Danger figure. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. This is the diving off of the buildings and then that glorious upside down shot where we see the buildings coming from the top of the screen down and Miles leaping upwards, falling upwards into the screen. Just gimme. Let's get him open. Right, before we even get started, look at him! Look at him! If the camera will actually focus on him in close. Look at him! Oh god, he looks so cool. So, oh my god, because this is 100% original sculpt on the surface, this looks like he's leapt off the screen. I mean, how cool is this? I'm blown away. Okay, so, let's talk about Miles' accessories. Go sit over there in your weird spider pose, my friend. Oh, just lie there for a second. That's fine. Miles comes with Stilt-Man's sort of collar. I wonder why. I mean, I know Gwen comes with the bulk of the torso. I think it's because based on the rest of the figure, it's kind of you make his armor look bulkier by adding on, as is the case with this collar. But yeah, that is such a unique piece. That's not ripped from anywhere else. So that is 100% Stilt-Man. That's going on the pile of Stilt-Man parts. Miles comes with two thwip hands, which you'll see on the figure in a moment. But he also comes with two fists, a right fist and a left fist, which based on Spider-Verse, all the fingers are red. That's how one of the many little differences between the Spider-Verse movie costume and the actual comic book costume. They're all red. Although, actually, I think in the comic they're all red too. I don't know, I might be having a moment. I always thought it was just the fingers and the thumb. Anyway, outside fingers and the thumb. Miles comes packaged with a Miles Morales head, which is an amazing sculpt based on the figure, based on the design of him in the film. Look at it. So good, like, kind of, sort of relaxed. He's kind of pensive, he's sort of thinking. Conversational expression. Which is nice. The attitude's more behind the eyes on this one. The Peter B. Parker one's got sort of attitude on his face, whereas Miles is kind of a little more neutral, but still nice. Hair, done an incredible job. Texture and paint apps. Just, he looks so good. Both the heads, Miles' head and Spider-Man head here, have, I don't think I've ever seen this in a Marvel Legends before, the joint is in the neck. Like the double-ended ball joint is in the neck for each of them. It's not, you don't just pop the head off. And I think that's because of the material the neck is made from. So let's take a look at Spidey. Now, as beautiful as the sculpt is and the paint and everything, look at the flash white of the eyes. Oh my god. There is something you have to be really, really careful of, and that is the limbs. He has very, very thin limbs, because the cartoon does. Which means when you're bending those legs, be careful, be freaking gentle when you're posing him, because oh my goodness. Like, if you snap those legs, he's buggered. Articulation, let's work from the bottom. Pivot on the feet. I thought possibly the top of the trainer swivels. It doesn't, and I'm kind of glad of that, just for the sake of giving him less things that could break. Double knee joint, he swivels. The thigh swivel is hidden just above the knee joint. One of the other reasons you need to be careful in the sculpt of the shorts. The shorts have just the crotch joint like that. He does swivel at the waist, a little limited, but it's on a ball joint, so it rotates. He has an ab crunch. Another unique aspect of this version of the Miles costume, of course, is the spray-painted spider. Now, Miles, we got a version of this Miles before. There was a 2-pack released to American stores around the time of the film. It wasn't really a Spider-Verse 2-pack properly. It was a repackaging of the Miles Morales and Ghost Spider, Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen figures they'd previously made, with the paint changed. So it was a version of Miles Morales where it had this spray-painted spider. It's quite cool now to get one that is actually more, accurate to the film. Like, it's a 13-year-old kid. He's a tiny build compared to a lot of the other figures. I mean, let's just stand him up here. If he'll do that. Will you stand, Miles? Will you stand? Miles, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, mate. Right. So there's Miles. Yeah. And for comparison, there's Peter B. Parker. Miles is tiny, as he should be, in comparison to the adult figures. Now, the other Miles, the original Miles, was still quite short too, but not quite as short as this. So it's cool to have him in his tiny little frame. He has a red hoodie, which is just a vest sculpt with the hoodie sculpted in. That hangs loosely on the body, so it doesn't hamper movement. The coat is, again, just a vest sculpt. The arms are sculpted to be part of the coat. It's a very sort of stiff socket joint at the top of each of the shoulders, so again, be careful with him. One elbow joint, which I think is there because, you wouldn't, in a thick jacket like this, you wouldn't be able to completely bend your arms, and the double elbow joint to give him unnaturally long limbs. There is his thwip hands. I've put them on the figure. They bend at the wrist, as you'd expect. And the head, which, again, when you pop it off, has a ball joint in the neck. Look at him. Just, I'm blown away by this. Be very gentle with him, because he's really delicate. But it's an incredible sculpt. The texture of the webs, that just slight raised texture, and the little kind of, the sort of mottled gaps in between, so it looks like it's, the material sort of scratched almost, it looks, and that it just, which works, because obviously in the film, it's a Peter suit that he's just spray painted over, so it makes sense that it'd kind of look a little scrappy. I can't describe how happy I am with this. As a movie Spider-Man figure, it is hot damn. Marvel Legends, you did a good job. You did a really, really good job. The tough part now is deciding whether or not to display him as Spider-Man or as Miles, because you're spoiled for choice. Amazing. I'm blown away. The Miles Morales figure, because yes, they're calling all the characters, the 3 heroes, by their names: Peter B. Parker, Miles Morales, and Gwen Stacy. What do you think? Do you like it? Have you got it? Do you want one? Let me know down in the comments below. Of course, check out my description. I'm not sponsored by Kapow Toys, but I'm giving them a shout out because I bought this wave off of them as a pre-order last year. And also, they're just a pretty good store all in all. Get good pre-orders in. If you want to buy some off my Amazon wishlist to be reviewed and get a shout out, you can. No obligation, of course. And I will see you all next time. What's up, danger?